former Judge of Supreme Court of India, former Chief Justice, Justice G.B. Patnaik, other brother and sister judges, Dr. Charu Mathur, Editor, Capital Foundation Society, Dr. Vinod Sethi, Secretary General, recipient of the Capital Foundation National Awards, senior advocates, other distinguished guests, media persons, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to everyone. The Capital Foundation Society is one of the esteemed organizations which has provided a space for dialogues and debates on issues of national importance. Society has been working creatively and with distinction for the people's cause in deserved areas and also for promoting democratic values. The foundation has been honoring the people who have been contributing to the progress of the nation in diverse fields. By doing so, it is giving much needed recognition to selfless service in providing necessary encouragement to the noble souls. Today, we have with us Sri N.V Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. Sri N.V Patnaik is one of the most dynamic leaders. The fact that he has been one of the longest serving Chief Minister indicates his bond with the people of Odisha. A lesser known fact is that he is also a keen author. He also takes active interest in preservation of and promotion of culture and literature. His dedication towards people and society is admirable. It is this dedication which is rewarding him with the people's love and affection repeatedly. I also thank Honorable Chief Minister Odisha. He has attended the Chief Ministers and Chief Justice Conference, which was held in the month of April. In spite of his ill health, he sat half of the day and supported the Indian judiciary. Not only that, my esteemed brother Justice Muralidhar used to say, Chief Justice of Odisha, that he has supported the judiciary and provided a lot of funds and other things to the Odisha Judicial Infrastructure Corporation. I congratulate him on being chosen for his prestigious award. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate other distinguished personalities who have made a mark in their chosen field and are awarded today. I am humbled to figure in this long list of awardees as a recipient of award named after the legendary of Justice Krishnaiyer. Justice Krishnaiyer had the rare distinction of holding the constitutional office of judiciary, legislature, and the executive. He was one of the most erudite and welfareist judges in this country who has witnessed it. He was known for his tilt towards the welfare of the working class of this country. His opinions continue to inspire generations of Indians about transformative power of the Constitution. I am deeply grateful to the honor bestowed on me today. I thank Honorable Justice Patnaik, AK, for extending this invitation to me. Justice A.K. Patnaik has delivered several important landmark judgments. He has also been a part of several constitutional benches. He has delivered several judgments in furtherance of constitutional mandate. He will be remembered as one of the most eminent jurists. Even after his retirement, he continues to enrich the society with his erudite opinions. I also thank Honorable Justice A.K. Sikri, who is my best friend, because he is my best and oldest friend, so he has given a lot of prizes to me. Thank you, Brother Justice Sikri. As I have demitted the office of the Chief Justice of India very recently, I do not think it appropriate for me to speak about my experiences in holding office for now. Instead, I would prefer to speak about the march of the Indian judiciary through these 72 years. Undoubtedly, the Indian Supreme Court and the judiciary as a whole has played a significant role in furthering the goals of democracy. The Supreme Court initially had to expound on jurisprudence afresh without the help of earlier court decisions on the constitutional front. When India attained independence, the Indian Supreme Court remained with the confines of the literal interpretation of the Constitution. Cases from A.K. Gopalan to Champakam Dorai are classic examples of literary interpretation of the Constitution by the Supreme Court. The 1960s and 70s may be remembered as the most challenging period in modern Indian history. Two wars, a liberation movement, nationalization of banks and general insurance companies, devaluation of the rupee, and the declaration of emergency, etc., marked the turbulent times of young democracy. This era saw the tussle between the parliament, which tried to maintain its primacy, and the Supreme Court trying to uphold the constitutional supremacy. The 1990s were no less difficult for the Indian polity. The Gulf War, fall in foreign remittance, increase of global oil prices, the resultant depletion of forex reserves, a very high inflation rate in all, a crisis was at our doorsteps. Despite desperate times called for desperate measures, the result was an attempt to end the license rush, introduce the market-friendly legislations, and the formulation of new industrial policy of 1991, which aimed at liberalizing the economy and attracting foreign investments. During this period, the country has made many diverse fields growth, such as pharma, IT, science and technology, and service sector, laying the path for country's progress. During this time, there was also a nascent green movement which was nurtured and furthered by the Supreme Court through various cases. Through the decades, the Indian judiciary, by the fundamental rights, analyze the normative reading of the Constitution, expanded the scope of fundamental rights. Courts should be dispassionate institutions. In the march of democracy, ideally, the people's verdict is the only way of course correction. But in certain situations, it is expected that courts will play the role of or supplant the opposition. This leads us to the larger question: what is the role and relevance and scope of the constitutional courts? Another question relates to the tool of PIL jurisprudence, which was innovated by the Supreme Court, has served a lot of public interest, which brought the people closer to the courts. It is occasional misuse reason enough for the constitutional courts to avoid such positive experimentation. There are many such questions that we as institution need to examine. Ultimately, we need to remember that it is the people's faith and trust that needs to be maintained. Any institution that does not enjoy public confidence is of no relevance to the society. I am of the considered view that the judiciary is no exception to this. Over 7 decades, a variety of opinions have emanated from Supreme Court. As an institution, the judiciary cannot be judged on the basis of any one opinion. Similarly, the country cannot expect a constitutional body consisting of over 30 independent constitutional authorities to always to speak in one voice. An institution speaking in one voice will not be a sign of healthy democracy. Like every other sphere, diverse views and viewpoints are essential for the judicial institutions and the democracy. The judiciary has been confronted with many challenges over this 72 years period. The Supreme Court has distinguished itself by ironing out many wrinkles and measuring welfare with the rule of law. In a democracy, all institutions progress organically with the change of time and circumstances. Even the judiciary is no exception to the same. Slowly and progressively, through the course of its functioning, the court has built upon its own jurisprudence to ensure that the rule of law is always maintained. In the post-emergency era, several decisions have been revisited and new standards have been established. The perceived errors have been corrected. In the future as well, in tune with sensibilities of time, the judiciary is bound to revisit and further strengthen the fundamental liberties and designates which make our life worthwhile. The courts have played an important role in ensuring that the rights enshrined in the constitutions are not a dead letter. The judiciary has reinforced the ideas that justice demands balancing the needs of an individual with the welfare of the community. It is because of these reasons today we thrive as the largest democracy governed by a written constitution. Judiciary, the grand creation of our constitution, is the repository of the trust and faith of the people. The Indian Supreme Court has immensely contributed towards the establishment of a constitutional culture in the nation. The verdicts and opinions of the Supreme Court have become fundamental values of citizens, governments, and institutions alike. Being at the helm of the judiciary hierarchy and catering to such a large population is not without its problem. The role of Chief Justice calls for leadership and long-term vision for the institution. Each one of us assumes this office under distinct circumstances and faces different sets of challenges. I commend my predecessors for carrying this institution this far, and I have faith that my successors will take it to new heights. In the growth of the Indian judiciary lies the growth of Indian democracy. During my tenure as the Chief Justice of India, according to my understanding, I focused on the long-standing issues of augmenting judicial infrastructure, filling up of the judicial vacancies, and increasing efficiency by adopting technology. The duties of the Chief Justice of India are not limited to the Supreme Court, but extend to the entire judicial system across the nation. From the district judiciary to the high courts, the issues affecting the judiciary need to be brought to light. If existing inadequacies are not addressed, we will not be ready to face the future needs of the country. With increasing population, raising awareness, excessive governance, and growth in trade, commerce, and economy, the litigation is bound to increase the money. The judiciary needs to be equipped to face the challenges emerging on day-to-day basis. The challenges of the past will be nothing compared to the challenges of the future. However, we need to realize that there are many other issues, perhaps bigger issues, affecting the population in general. The world that we live in today is rapidly changing. We have to achieve great governance and growth in trade, commerce, and economy. The litigation is bound to increase manifold. The judiciary needs to be equipped to face the challenges emerging on day-to-day basis. The challenges of the past will be nothing compared to the challenges of the future. However, we need to realize that there are many other issues, perhaps bigger issues, affecting the population in general. The world that we live in today is rapidly changing. We have to achieve great progress on various fronts. The achievements of the 21st century certainly need to be appreciated. At the same time, we must recognize that the issues that we were affecting us 70 years ago are still a reality. As a nation, we cannot stay in denial of the fact that hunger, poverty, illiteracy, and social inequities are still a reality for millions of Indians. Today's India reflects dual realities. On one side, there are high-rise buildings, while on the other side, people still reside in slums where children sleep in hunger. When we are aiming for the space, moon, and Mars, we should not forget the little stars struggling on the streets, slums, hamlets, and villages. The disparity in the sharing of resources and the divided of growth needs to be reduced. Issues from nutrition to immunization and affordable medication need to be addressed. Lack of affordable, accessible healthcare affects all age groups in the country. The large issues in fulfilling the basic needs of the present generation and continue working towards the needs of the future. The needs of those who are at the bottom of the pyramid cannot be overlooked. Sustainable and responsive growth is the key towards an inclusive and equitable future. A dignified living for all is non-negotiable. Till we achieve the same, our constitutional aspirations will be empty dreams. As responsible citizens, we must push ourselves to be part of the solution, not the problem. Today, I am glad to be among such a resourceful and eminent world. You all have brought about big difference in your respective fields. Platforms like this provide us with an opportunity to deliberate on important issues. I hope you all will come together to discuss, deliberate, debate, and ultimately find solutions to these issues. I thank you for providing me this opportunity and share my views.